The city is making further progress on complying with wastewater regulations. Council giving the green light to repair a communication node that hasn't been working for 6 years. Vault 9 monitors treated water going to the North Saskatchewan River, but all equipment was lost from flooding in 2011.
It's to that point that I feel it's very urgent to get it fixed. And when it comes to wastewater, that's one of the issues that the city needs to supply and be responsible for.
The city is still looking for provincial assistance to complete major upgrades at the wastewater treatment plant, but the mayor says the city will fix what they can afford.
They have regulations. We have the requirement to try and meet those regulations and work with them. Our city will do what we can do to ensure that we stay compliant within the provincial regulations.
$35,000 was carried over from last year's budget to pay for the $62,000 project. Well, Jason Kenney was in the border city on Monday, just one of many stops across Alberta in an effort to reach out to PC and Wildrose members as they get ready to decide whether or not to unite the right.
I'm here because Alberta is a special place. It's been good to all of us.
Kenney hosted a town hall-style meeting focusing on defeating the Alberta NDP in the next election, something he is confident a united Conservative Party can successfully do.
I think a lot of people are feeling quite frustrated with the NDP government, the recession, the carbon tax, the quadrupling of the provincial debt, and they're looking for a solution, and they understand unity is the best way forward. So we're very happy with the response we're getting.
Another topic discussed was the province's struggling economy, with Kenney wanting to bring jobs and investments back to Alberta, something he feels the NDP is neglecting to do.
You see Saskatchewan, right next door here in Lloyd, their economy is doing better than ours, even though they're more dependent on oil and gas, because they have a government that's actually made the right decisions to attract investment and create jobs. We need a similar approach back in Alberta.
PC and Wildrose grassroots members will vote in a referendum on the unity agreement on July 22nd. All right, well, 2 cats are the focus of this week's pet project. Ernest is a 6-year-old and Fiona is 3 years old, and they're both looking for their forever homes. Here's John from the SPCA.
Canada Day is less than a week away, and to help celebrate this special day, the Lloydminster District SPCA is hosting our Countdown to Canada Day Cat Adoption Extravaganza. All cats over 6 months are adoption fee waived now until July 1st. One of these special felines is Ernest. Ernest is a 6-year-old love bug who adores people. The minute he sees you, he's purring away, rolling around, and hopes you'll pet him. Once you have him in your arms, he'll literally hug you and rub his face against yours to show how much he appreciates the attention. Ernest is an absolute gem that is sure to steal your heart. Be sure to visit him at the SPCA today. This beautiful princess is Fiona. Fiona is a 3-year-old pure white cat who just adores receiving lots of pets and attention. Fiona is not a huge fan of being picked up, however. Rather, she enjoys the freedom to explore her surroundings. Fiona is not very good at playing hide and seek either, as you'll know where she is thanks to her chatty personality. But that's what makes her so darn charming. If you're looking to add some extra zest to your life, then you just have to meet Fiona. Stop by the SPCA and meet Fiona or one of our other amazing feline companions, and be sure to take advantage of this amazing deal.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, the Northwest Prairie Pirates seem to be in the fight of their lives every weekend a top-ranked team comes to Wallace Field. This past weekend provided an opportunity for the team to prove it can compete, beginning with a chance at redemption Saturday versus the Saskatoon Diamondbacks. Lance Phillips with more.
After a pair of wins a week ago against Regina, the Northwest Prairie Pirates fell back into an old groove, losing 4 games to the Saskatoon Diamondbacks and Saskatoon Cubs over this past weekend. In Game 1 Saturday, the Diamondbacks scored 10 runs to the Pirates 5. And in Game 2, an 8-run fifth was the difference in a 15-7 Saskatoon win.
They just have a lot of talented guys there. They can hit the ball, they play defense, and they have a lot of good arms on the bum.
I think they just were more focused when they came to the diamond and were ready to go, and I guess we just weren't as prepared as them, and they took advantage of the opportunities that they got and they strung hits together.
But hits weren't the only difference. The Pirates committed a season-high 13 errors in 2 games, something Herback South believes talent doesn't play a part in.
As much as we practice, I think you got to get the nerves out in the game. And I think that's a problem with a lot of our players. They get a little nervous, especially when we play these better ball clubs. So it's finding a way to get these guys to play relaxed, have a bit of fun, but also be able to compete.
I think it's a big part of just being focused and ready to go at the start of the ball game.
The result is still a step in the right direction, considering the last time the two teams met, the Prairie Pirates managed 2 runs over a 2-game stretch.
We have a pretty decent hitting team. We've been working on our hitting really good this year. Josh, he's a pretty good hitting coach, so he's been teaching us some good stuff.
The thing is the only way you can win baseball consistently is to score runs, play defense, and pitch well. So you need to do that every day you come out. So today we didn't pitch very well. We definitely didn't play defense, but you hit the ball. So we need to do all 3 every day.
One of the more challenging issues facing the Pirates aren't necessarily the errors on the field, but rather the management of arms on the mound. At best, it's a difficult proposition to find the perfect balance, but critical to earning wins in the Saskatchewan Premier Baseball League.
The pitch count does get into it because we only are allowed a certain amount of pitches and we have to have a certain amount of rest days.
It's difficult. You kind of have a plan, and if it goes that way, it all works out. But if not, once the games get this big and this high scoring, then you kind of got to go with whatever you can just to get through the weekend.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Mackey retires on.
Well, one of the more difficult tasks associated with the CPCA Pro Tour is without question outriding. It requires plenty of mental and physical strength, not to mention health. Fortunately, for one of the association's top outriders, health is slowly becoming less of a concern. Eric Perret made his return to the track this weekend in Wainwright, just 3 weeks after a serious outriding injury left him with a few missing teeth and a broken jaw.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really plan on being back this quick, but I wanted to try and stay in shape and everything, so I came to ride just one for Chris on his point wagon, and then, as you probably heard, the very first night Ryan ended up getting hurt, so the other 3 guys he's riding for happens to be my second call as well.
Now, despite his injuries, the upbeat outrider says he feels great even after losing some key elements being in the saddle requires.
You definitely are not 100%. You just don't have the wind. You don't have the stamina that you normally would. Like, conditioning in the spring gets you prepared for all that, and I basically lost all that being off for a couple weeks, right? Lost lots of weight, so you don't really have the endurance you used to.
The Chauvin, Alberta native was hoping to be ready for the Calgary Stampede, but his love for his craft forced him back to the track. Now the only question is whether or not he'll ride in this weekend's Onion Lake Tour stop.
So I go on Friday and I get all my wires taken out, so I can't say for sure.